Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. Hi, I'm Craig.
Hi, I'm Shandi.
Hi, I'm Shandi.
I'm Shandi.
Hi, I'm Kylee.
Hi, I'm Kylee.
Hi, I'm Kylee.
And this is Seance with My Siblings, Mimic Edition. Welcome to the Seance.
Woo!
Today, we are talking about mimics. And not the Dungeons and Dragons kind.
They have mimics?
They have mimics, yes.
In my research, they came up like so much. I was like, I want the other kind.
Like, not D&D stuff, guys. Not today.
Not today.
Not today. But the paranormal entities that can sound or look like people that you know. We have a couple of theories to share with you today about these mimics, as well as a couple of listener stories about people who have encountered mimics.
Ooh.
But first, we have an announcement to make. Friday the 13th has come and gone, and that means we have winners to announce for the Friday the 13th giveaway.
In case you didn't see our TikTok.
Yes.
Get to talk.
So our first prize winner, who won the cup and keychain, was Michaela Renee. And our second prize winner of the socks and keychain was Aspen Raylan. Thank you so much for entering the giveaway, and we hope that you enjoy your prizes.
Yeah.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Woo!
Woo! Good times. Come on.
Okay,
Yes.
let's get spooky now.
Spooky.
So here is one of the theories about what people believe may be the cause of mimics or mimic activity, and that is recordings of varying types. So type 1 is the stone tape theory and mimics. The stone tape theory is a theory that suggests that ghosts and hauntings and mimics are caused by the release of historical information from objects like rocks. The theory is based on the idea that certain materials like limestone, quartz, and magnetite can store information from emotional or traumatic events. When this information is released, it can cause a residual haunting, which is when a past event is replayed in the present, kind of like a projection. The stone is a tape recorder, and at random times, it will replay these things back. Some people believe that this is why when people are doing like renovations, or you're removing or jostling or interrupting the stone or whatever object is holding the recording, it causes it to release more frequently. And so that's why the haunting acts up during renovations.
And it doesn't seem intelligent.
Exactly.
What the hell?
Okay.
A noise, like an animal behind our soundproofing. That scared the shit out of me.
I don't know what it was. There are lots of birds outside, though.
But was it in your house?
I sure hope not.
Oh,
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Everyone.
Oh, no. Okay. In relation to mimics, the stone tape theory may be a case of you or your loved ones or your friends haunting yourselves,
Ooh.
especially people who are frequently near or interact with whatever object or stone is doing the recording. What do you guys think about that theory?
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Especially like if your home is built on a lot of these sorts of stones or, I don't know, something.
And then there's residual hauntings, which are kind of similar to like the way the stone tape theory works. A residual haunting is a haunting in which a specter repeats a loop of its past with no semblance of intelligence or consciousness.
Right. They're not there anymore. It's just a recording.
Exactly.
Like on a loop.
Yes. These entities do not interact with their surroundings and are unaware or oblivious. This type of haunting is one of the most common, actually. Residual hauntings are recorded in a place, usually because of high or intense or traumatic emotions and events. Think deaths, murders, accidents, weddings, graduations. Negative emotions are not the only emotions that can be recorded, even though a lot of scary stories, that's the
That
thing.
is the
That's like
thing.
the-
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're probably way more noticeable.
They probably are. But good emotions can be just as powerful as the bad and leave imprints as well. And then type 3 of recordings, the spookiest, in my opinion. The spirit or entity itself is doing the recording of the sounds. And these are sounds that they know will get a reaction from you.
Right.
Don't love that.
They're being shitheads.
They are. Things that can make you excited, such as your partner or loved one coming home, or things that can make you scared, such as footsteps on the stairs when nobody's home, or having your name called when nobody is home. I have found that with these comes like a secondary emotion almost, like that feeling of realizing that nobody is there or nobody is home. And I think that's what the entity is looking for.
Yeah,
is that
they want that
specific
fear,
feeling.
That fear.
It's like that in-between moment when you first realize and you get like that pit in your stomach or the anxiety rises before you're in that
spooky.
full fear mode. Like
you
that.
run out of the house, or you
Yes.
hide under the blanket, or you turn on the TV really and turn it up and just sit there like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
I didn't see anything.
I heard nothing. This is fine.
Everything is just fine.
All is well. But yeah, that frightful realization that like, yeah, makes your heart start pounding or your stomach turn in between, like realizing that it's not your loved one. But before you're like, oh shit, there might be something else here
Right.
with me.
Right. And you're scared. You're not thinking like, tell it to fuck off.
Yeah.
That's my go-to now.
Yes.
Do you guys get that feeling then when like this happens or when you have experienced this? Do you even know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah. Yes. Maybe not when I have so many mimic stories, and not maybe when it was more innocent. I think the feeling was more confusion, especially because it would happen. Well, let's get into that later.
Okay.
But then during the more scarier mimic experiences I've had, I definitely had that feeling. And that is exactly what it wanted.
Yeah, when I was younger and it would happen to me, I would always get that like confusion because I knew no one was there. And then like the realization like, oh shit, no one's here. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Go sit outside.
literally.
Go to Grandma Patty's house.
Oh, for real. Like, it was always just spooky. Hated it.
Yes. Okay. That's the mimics as recordings theory. Theories.
Yes.
Yes.
I can definitely like believe them. Yeah, they're definitely for sure.
And maybe it's a mixture.
Oh, I think so.
I think it depends on how intelligent the mimic is, like what is happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what they want from you.
Yeah. Because I do. Yeah. Yeah. The mimics I have experienced have been intelligent entities. It hasn't been a recording, because I've had those types of hauntings also, and I knew nothing was really there, and it was just like trapped energy sometimes gets sparked, like the sounds of kids running up and down my stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and doors slamming in the basement, because that happened. Like the people that built the house had a lot of kids, and they all slept in the basement, and so that was always happening down there for years.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the gross serial killer basement.
In the gross serial killer basement. And then all the grandkids, we would always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my house is my grandparents' old house. They're still alive. Don't worry. They just built a better house.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, that is my section on theories.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. So I have from the Encyclopedia of Ghosts and Spirits by Rosemary Ellen Kylee. So something called a calling ghost. So it's not, or it's very similar to like what you think of when you think of a mimic. And so it states ghosts of the dead or spirits who call out the names of the living to attract their attention and lure them to their death.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good.
So don't lure me to my death, please. So calling ghosts are rooted in the superstition that one should never answer the call of a stranger who knows your name and wants you to approach her.
Or him.
Or him.
Or them.
It's probably always women, though, because
Probably.
we are horrible.
But the author's like a woman. She must have just been like her because she's a woman as well. Maybe is what
I'm
I'm
just being
thinking.
stiff.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because that also crossed my mind. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
all inclusive, but approaches her for she could be a calling ghost in disguise. So the sirens of Greek mythology are of this type of spirit. The sirens were water nymphs whose beautiful singing lured the sailors to their death. They lived on an island between Ceres's Isle and Sicily. They sat on flowered beds surrounded by the rotting corpses of the men they had killed. In art, they were portrayed as beautiful women or as birds with women's heads and
Sure.
upper bodies.
So that used to be what sirens were, was
Mhm.
birds, and then it turned to
I didn't know
mermaids.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think of the What We Do in the Shadows episode where Colin Robinson, there's like I think they call it a harpy in that actually, but she's like the bird lady.
Right. Harpies have boobs, but they look like birds.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
But female breasts, super hot. Yeah.
LOL.
LOL.
Odysseus defeated the sirens by having his men plug their ears with wax, but because he wanted to hear the song himself, he had himself tied to the ship's mast as it sailed past the sirens.
He was so brave. And
He was so brave and so strong for doing that.
Yes.
You're-
He didn't succumb to
You
them.
didn't succumb to the siren call. Go off. There is a strong tradition of calling ghosts in Hawaii. According to lore, they are disembodied female voices who call your name at your back and ask you to turn around.
No.
If you do so, make yourself vulnerable to illness. If you do so, you make yourself vulnerable to illness or death. They like to catch a person unaware of what the Jesus, sorry. Okay.
Words are hard.
Words
my
are
God.
hard. I haven't had a coffee and it
You haven't
shows.
had coffee.
I haven't had a coffee and it shows.
Oh, okay.
So sorry. So they like to catch a person unaware so that the person reacts without thinking. Like to just like
Mm.
turn around real quick.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the calling ghosts
Mm.
from Rosemary Ellen Kylee from the Encyclopedia of Ghosts and Spirits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For this one, I feel like this is just like the everyday, like, mimic type ghost, I guess. Like, even
Yeah.
though they're called like calling ghosts in this page. But I definitely think that this is the majority or mostly of what I experienced, just like it's a ghost trying to like get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like I have had residual callings too. So kind of a
Yeah.
mixture of both.
There are also other entities that will mimic and call your name that are not ghosts or spirits.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, they're elementals or
elementals or the fae. Yeah.
Or the
demons,
sirens.
or the
Yeah.
sirens or
Which sing, but yeah, still.
Yeah.
you say your name.
Yeah.
the Windy Boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought about talking a little bit about that, but I was like,
They could be
I
their
don't wanna-
whole own.
I don't want to
thing.
touch
That's-
that right now.
Yeah, not
In Utah,
everybody,
especially.
Everybody talks about windy boys
Mhm.
and epidermis strollers.
Yeah.
Flush
We don't need
pedestrians.
to.
No, they're especially not for Utah because
Yeah.
Yeah.
flesh
We
pedestrian
are
ranch.
rampant
Yeah.
with the flesh pedestrians.
Yeah.
Bump bump. But yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts or like, is this like the majority of like what you also kind of experience or like, because I know like a few of y'all's experiences, but
I
like,
don't agree with any of these theories and mimics.
okay.
But that is just because of my personal experiences.
mhm.
And I don't have everybody else's. I haven't experienced what other people have that
Okay.
do. Because I do believe in the recording thing. But I think
Yes.
that's a residual haunting.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a mimic.
Yeah. And these are just theories because
Uh-huh.
nobody actually knows.
Well, like, how can we prove it?
And
We're
also
trying so hard.
We're
Yes.
trying so hard.
to prove the
That this
mimics
is-
every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that they're like trying to lure you to your death, which, okay, like, sure, but I've never experienced it
I
myself with
think-
mimics type things.
Right. In my own opinion and experience, I think they are some sort of entity. I don't know what. Maybe an elemental, something that was never human.
Mhm.
And they feed on negative energy.
Yeah.
I like that
That's
Yeah.
But then I heard one, I think, did I tell you it was TGOG? Oh, no, that was
no.
Therapy Demons.
Was it the ghosties?
Oh, yeah, the ghosties. They're so
Yes.
cute. They get real scared of their own stories, and I am here for it.
That's
It is
adorable.
adorable. They are super cute. Everybody check them out. Anyway, they were saying that it's one of those mimics, or one of those things where it's like everything everywhere all at once. So like all of your life and lives and different dimensions of you are happening all at once. And that's why you're hearing someone you love call your name, because those dimensions are bleeding into each other.
Ooh, I like that.
Or like the stacked dimensions
Yeah,
theory.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're all just like a stack of papers. Like all the dimensions are a stack of papers on top of each other. And sometimes
Yes.
things like leak upward or downward or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah. And so whatever you're hearing is happening in another dimension, just not yours.
I don't love that
I
either.
don't love that either, but I think I would probably could see that one, especially the mimicry that happened in my earlier childhood.
Mm,
But then I also don't think it was that either,
yeah.
Yeah.
because that was way more innocent and like not scary, just confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll get into that more.
Yeah.
Ooh, so excited.
See, and I've like read all of your stories, but for Craig, some of them are like a surprise.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
Which is
lucky
exciting.
you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
So,
She has also heard the mimicking of keys rattling or jingling at the door when nobody is there. In that instance, though, I think it was her mother-in-law said that her uncle or grandpa used to do that.
So that could be more of a residual thing and
Mhm.
not as scary as the thing that's looking like her loved ones. I hate
I
that. That's
hate
Yes.
it.
We need to. She needs some help to get rid of that if it's
If
still-
it's
She
being
has an
nasty
update,
to her. Yeah, so I haven't read the update yet, so I'm
Ooh,
excited.
This is exciting.
Okay, now for the update. So this is little Vixie. So me and my husband have been married for almost a year now. And just
Congratulations.
recently,
Congrats.
my best friend, the Christian one, so she mentions a couple, she has a witch friend and a Christian friend and then another friend, I think, that from the last ones,
That are
if I remember
Trying to
correctly.
like, play into that story. Yeah.
Mhm. She's been coming over more recently. Yay. Things started ramping back up. I have been more busy at work lately. I'm getting more hours. Anyways, here goes the scary encounters I've had and my best friend have had lately. One day, a few weeks ago, me and my best friend were in the bedroom watching YouTube in the middle of the day. Yeah, because ghosts can come out in the daytime.
They sure can.
That is why I'm Shandi, the daytime ghost hunter.
Mm-hmm.
We heard what sounded like my mother-in-law's voice coming from the living room, so I paused the video and yelled, "Mom," to see if it was her, but there was no response. Admittedly, me and my best friend are both freaked out, and she asked me, did I hear that? And I said yes. I also heard my husband's voice coming from the living room as well as my mother-in-law's voice. She says she didn't hear his voice, only my mother-in-law's voice. I clearly heard both, their voices having a conversation in the living room. We get so spooked, in fact, that we call my mother-in-law and ask her if she'd come downstairs and then went back up. She says no. We would have heard her talking to the cats downstairs. So admittedly, we are extremely freaked out at this point.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah, that's scary.
times, other times she is texting me on Snapchat while I was at work, telling me she heard the basement door open and close like someone was coming into the living room. When she was hearing these noises, the door opening, my husband was at work, as was I. She now hates being alone and refuses to stay in the living room while we are at work. She comes into the bedroom because that's where she feels safe. She says she even brought my dog in one night to avoid hearing the voices and noises that she hears, hoping that maybe the dogs will hear what she's hearing. That validation.
Yeah.
And the protection. You got your dog and you feel
Feel
safe.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or whatever pet.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's even one point where I was in the bathroom playing music and she was sitting in there with me just for comfort. I needed another person's presence because I got scared. My music all of the sudden stops playing.
Mhm.
This wasn't the first time this had happened. Now, admittedly, my YouTube on my Google speaker will Let me know when I'm playing too many videos and stop playing music, but that wasn't the case this time. While listening to music after my shower, it was all of a sudden just stopped playing, and my husband even heard it happen. The funny thing is, he said Uncle Steve must not like that music. That's my husband's uncle. A lot of the time when these things are happening, they're harmless. The only thing that truly scared us was the fact that we both heard my mother-in-law's voice distinctly coming from the living room, as if she were having a conversation in there, but there was nobody there. I haven't seen it lately, and I don't think she has either. However, she told me that she heard footsteps on the stairs while her and I were playing Uno. However, hubby wasn't even home yet. She also said she was home alone and heard footsteps on those same downstairs steps and heard a light knocking on the door, as if a man was knocking with his knuckles. And she felt comforted because she thinks it was my husband's uncle. Now that the encounter isn't that scary, but here's one that's extremely creepy and I can't explain. So I have 2 dogs, Chloe and Freckles. Those are such cute names.
Oh, I bet they're such cute babies.
Yes. Chloe's a lab hound mix, and Freckles is an Australian shepherd. Cute.
Adorable.
They sound adorable. And Freckles doesn't like being alone after being abandoned at the house across the street from us at a young age.
sad.
I'm so happy that you have
Yes.
and you took them in. That's so horrible.
I know.
I can't believe people do that.
Mm-mm. So Chloe's crate is in our living room and Freckles is in our bedroom. My best friend says she keeps hearing noises coming from Freckles' crate when she's home alone. Keep in mind, I have a pen outside that my dogs stay in at night most of the time, so they get exercise, so there's no way it was my girl Freckles because she was outside. Well, a night after, I'll from here on out refer to my best friend as F. F and I were in the bedroom and we were just goofing off, screaming, etc. And I hear rustling and what sounds like my dog shaking herself off in the crate. So obviously I looked down and I knew that she wasn't inside, but I still went to look and F looks at me and said, "What?" And I said, "I remember when you said you were hearing noises from Freckles' crate as well. I just heard the same thing." It literally sounded like something was on my side, in my dog's crate, like moving around and shaking the crate. Ooh.
Yeah.
Another story F told me that freaked me out is when she heard what sounded like me whispering her name from the top of the stairs.
Oh no, that's not nice.
That's gross. I hate it.
And when she reached the top, I wasn't there. Last 2 things, I promise. So I have this Native American porcelain doll in our bedroom, and F's air mattress is right beside the shelf the doll sits on. One night she tells me she saw the same doll leaning.
Ugh.
Right, hates that so much.
I hate it when they do that shit.
Now I feel comfortable around this doll, like she's protecting me. I also love listening to Native American flute music and rain to sleep. I have Cherokee in my blood, so that's probably like an ancestral, like,
Okay.
that's
Kind
why
of a
that comforts you.
situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the doll never scares me, but she is afraid of that doll now. Fair.
Yeah.
The last and most recent thing she heard was what sounded like someone tapping on the bathroom door as she was getting into the shower. And she said that
I'd
made her
like to do that.
immediately
Mhm.
feel fear. So she called her grandmother. So what do y'all think? Is it back or is it just a different spirit? Let me know.
Some of it is her uncle or the husband's uncle.
Yes.
All of the keys and the footsteps and all of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not scary to them. Like
Yeah.
even the mother-in-law was like, I feel comforted. So I feel like when it's family and you're past the point of being scared of things, you get that comforting feeling. You know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
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 But I think the thing whispering
And maybe messing in the dog's crate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Ooh.
a trickster or something. And
Or a mimic.
yeah, I would get some help to do a nice cleansing of your space, however you feel is right for you to do it.
Yes. And then sorry about all the extra stuff and for making this such a long read.
Don't be sorry.
Yes.
We love it.
We love it.
Yeah.
What do y'all believe this entity is? Oh, we kind of talked about this.
Oh, sorry, I
Um,
read it. Oops, I said it out loud.
No. What do y'all believe this entity is? Is it a mimic or a demon?
I don't think it's a demon.
I don't think it's a demon.
I think it might be a mimic or a trickster.
Trickster, yeah.
Which mimics can be pretty trickstery.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it just wants to feed off your fear. I
Yep.
think it, and this is pretty mild stuff,
Mhm.
and no one is having kind of the more common symptoms of if it were demonic, like personality changes,
Yeah.
constant fighting. Like it's not
Mhm.
ramping up.
Yeah, there's no like anger or like, yeah.
Right. It's not
Mhm.
ramping up. It's like this has been happening to you for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So
Like since they've been married for a year and the first stories were when they were still engaged.
right. So I would start telling it to stop
Yeah.
Mhm.
and get out. Like, this is my space. This is not yours. You are not welcome. Get
Yeah.
out.
If I think she said she was Christian. So if you like work with angels or you can like ask Jesus or God in like a prayer or however there are so many denominations
Get
of
some
Christianity.
holy water.
Yeah.
If you have clergy in your area that you trust, you can get your home blessed. I know
Mhm.
sometimes clergy is weird about doing that,
Yeah.
especially in Utah.
Mhm.
So get your witchy friend.
Yeah. Get your witchy friend.
Mhm.
Call in
Or-
all the guns.
Yes. You and your witchy friend and all of your beliefs and intentions together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, at the end of the day, it's about calling on a higher power and setting intentions of taking your space back
Mhm.
and cleansing it and protecting it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And your own power.
Yeah,
Like people
you are
forget that you are powerful. And sometimes you don't like you can start small, like, hey, get out of here, do this, and then escalate as
Right,
needed.
sometimes that works.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And you could listen to our episode on cleansing. Has that
We
not
have
yet?
not
Will that
dropped
come
that
out
yet. That will
next
come
week?
out. So this one's coming out
Oh.
first, and then it will
Then
come
that
out
one.
after that.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, when it comes out, you can listen to it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for your story, and I'm
yeah,
sorry
thank
this is
you.
happening.
Yeah. But we love to hear it though.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah,
about it.
sorry.
And pet your dogs for us.
Please.
Yes.
Tell them they're good babies and give them some treats.
Mhm.
Adorable
Okay.
baby.
My dogs pulled the caramel corn off the counter. And they must have done it pretty. They didn't have time to eat it all before I got up, so they must have done it pretty close to the time I got out to let them out
Oh,
and give them
man.
their treat that they didn't.
Naughty babies.
babies.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Dogs.
Freaking
so
doggos.
freaking cute.
They're too cute.
They are too cute. All right, Craig.
All right.
So,
Ooh.
As I knock everything over.
That's okay.
So, I have a story here by Difficult Fig 6836. Probably a mimic is what it is labeled. So, back in the mid-90s, I was 14. I lived with my parents and two older brothers, but my oldest brother and his wife and toddler daughter, my niece Laura, moved in with us for a short period of time. So we were 5 adults, 2 teens, and a toddler. My mom loved cooking, and I loved taking care of my niece even more. For her first grandchild, her first grandchild, but she had a heart condition and other health problems. That was so sad. So carrying a little girl was taxing to her. So we would try to not leave her alone with the baby just in case. Also, since
the mom had heart problems.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
it was the baby. I was
Yeah.
That's still sad.
It's
That is
very
still
sad.
sad.
Yeah.
No, it's very sad. I was just confused. I'm
Yeah.
clarifying.
At first I was a little confused, but yeah,
Like,
the
it's
mom.
all sad. No,
It is all
no one wants
sad.
anyone to
Yeah.
have heart problems.
No, that's awful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, also, since we were so many, we would buy groceries in large amounts, like full trunk and backseat Manny. Yeah, full trunk and backseat Mini. My sorry. That did not click for me. Yes. My newly moved in oldest brother and his wife both worked, and to the family's dismay, at times left the baby girl in my mom's care without supervision. We were a bit privileged, so our house was kind of big. I mean, gardens, fountains, palm trees, guest apartment, parking for 6. Damn.
It sounds like there were a lot of them living there though.
Mhm.
So,
Well, yeah,
But
but
yeah.
still, that sounds like a nice place.
yeah.
And unfortunately, it was haunted.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh no.
But boo.
Boo.
Boo. One day, I got home from school, ready to drop off my book bag, change, and leave it to be with my friends. As soon as I opened the door, the sound of a busy kitchen and the smell of cooking food filled the house. Ooh.
Ooh.
Is that real or fake? No. I'm ready. Oh, yeah. Mom was cooking. My baby niece was in the living room on her baby walker, unattended. She didn't need it. Okay. She could walk, but the walker would limit her movement and access to some spaces in the house. I yelled, "Mom, I'm home." Mom yelled back, "That's good." I asked for my brother and dad. Mom replies, "They went to to buy groceries." I sighed. I would not be going out. I would be staying home and watching over my niece while Mom cooked. So I picked her up, watched cartoons, got Cheerios for her to snack on, and gave her a box of juice. After longer than an hour, I knew this because we watched more than 2 30-minute cartoon shows. Yes. We started playing chase. We'd run around the couch and one way in reverse. I'd pretend she was too fast for me. Then suddenly my dad swung open the front door, carrying grocery bags. Did y'all hear that?
Shadow?
My door popped open. No,
Oh.
it does that.
Okay. Great.
All right.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay, then. I got to see my brother bringing groceries. He said, wait. I got to see my niece run into the bathroom, but I was slightly distracted by my dad. "Go outside and help your brother grab groceries," he said. I replied, "Sure." We went into the bathroom for my niece. That's no place for a toddler. There's a toilet and a trash can, but she wasn't there.
Oh.
They saw
After they saw him go into the bathroom, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, scary. She must have come out in that second. I was distracted by my dad. I thought I looked for her, called her name, didn't see her. Scary. My brother walks in with more grocery bags. Uh-oh, doors open. I think to myself, maybe she walked out while I was looking for her in the living room. I walk outside, don't see her in the front garden, not on the side garden, back patio, garage, nor driveway. Perhaps back inside. She can't be that fast. She's a toddler. I thought.
Toddlers are fast.
They're so fast. They'll fucking zoom.
And
they will be into stuff before you can even register what they are doing.
Yep, they'll blink and they'll have a fistful of food and a fistful of poo.
It's gross and yes.
She's a toddler, I
it's
thought.
Like you raised my children.
Sorry.
She's a toddler, I thought as I started to panic. My brother yells, "Hey, come help us." Then I noticed that they didn't park inside the property, but outside on the sidewalk. The gate is open. What if she got out and no one saw? I thought. Okay, time to come clean. And recruit help.
Okay. I lost your daughter.
I lost your
You gotta
daughter.
make sure she's not being hit by cars.
Or a mimic.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen Laura? My brother. Yeah, she's in the car. Wait.
What? She's in the car?
She's in the car. I see her sitting in her car seat. They must have seen her walk out and put her in the seat to stay while they were
Why would
bringing
they do that? That
groceries
doesn't
in.
make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Keep going.
I deducted.
You were hoping.
I was hoping. Just kidding. I gotta come clean that it was who watched after her. I didn't want them to blame Mom. Okay. But I helped them with the groceries first. A bit later, it was lunchtime. We all sat on our dining room table. Baby is in the high chair. I addressed the elephant in the room. Hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for letting the baby out. I was looking after her, but in a micro distraction, she went outside. When was this? Asked my sister-in-law. Me. Today. Brother. Today. At what time? Me. When you arrived from the market with groceries, she walked outside and you sat her in her car seat. Brother. She went outside by herself? Like, to the sidewalk? Everyone starts freaking out. I said, yeah, luckily you were outside to catch her and sit her in her car seat. Sil. Wait, today? Before we left to the market? Me. No, today when you got back from the market. Before that, I was watching her. Still, no, she was always in the seat. We took her to the market with us. We agreed we wouldn't leave her alone with your mom, so we didn't.
Ooh, full body chills right now.
That's
Nope.
so gross.
That's so
What
gross.
were you sitting with and
What were
chasing?
you playing?
Oh.
No. No, I hate this. That's just
I hate it. Please don't do that. Like, why are you doing that? The conversation continued to basically establish a timeline. They all went to the market and took my little niece with them. My mom stayed and cooked. I got home and then they returned home still with the baby.
You're like, no, she was clearly in her walker, and I clearly picked her up and fed her
Literally, we watched
Cheerios and
An
the
hour
juice
of
box.
cartoons.
Dude.
Oh.
And then I got distracted, and I saw her go into the bathroom.
And
then
she
I looked
wasn't
in the
there.
bathroom, and she wasn't there. And then I freaked out and thought she went outside. And then I came clean about it. But she was
Ugh.
really with you the whole time.
Oh my god.
That's so wild, dude.
That's scary. I felt relieved I wouldn't have to confess to losing my niece, but was equally confused. Everyone supported my sales story, and it was not a prank. Even my mom said that she was
When
in
it
the
says
kitchen.
Sil, is it capital S-I-L?
Yeah,
That's
sister-in-law.
sister-in-law, yeah.
Sorry.
I was like,
Whoops, that's my bad. I just...
yeah.
yeah, sister-in-law,
So the whole
S-I-L.
family's like, no, the baby was with us the whole time.
Mhm. Even my mom said that she was in the kitchen and was not with the baby at all. If it's true that my niece was not home all that time, then who was I babysitting? Who drank the juice
more
and
like,
ate this?
What?
What were you babysitting? Who were you babysitting for? Like, ooh.
The ghost is all like, "Oh, I can go do whatever I want. They'll babysit my little baby ghost."
Well, it ate and drank. I don't think it was a goat. I think it was some sort of other little
Something.
trickster entity.
Changeling.
Yeah, but they make you raise your kids for them. They
That's
take
true.
your human baby and leave their fae baby.
That's true.
Scary. Then who was I babysitting? Who drank the juice? Who ate the cereal? Who was the baby I was with?
It was not a baby.
It wasn't a baby, no.
I don't know what the fuck it was. It was not a baby.
Perhaps it was my imagination or a weird mental episode due to whatever, but I'm 42 now. And if it was in my head, well, I've never had an episode with visions like that ever, neither before or after that time. To this day, I still get a bit of heebie-jeebies when I think of this. Yeah,
as you should.
Mhm.
that's
I was
so
also
scary.
14 in the 90s.
Hell yeah.
I'm also in my 40s.
Yes.
The 90s were wild. No, you're not crazy. Psychosis doesn't present like that and to only ever have one episode.
Yeah, that's...
Psychosis doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Added note, though, through years, my brothers had claimed to ghost activity in that house, from poltergeist to shadows, whispers and noises, and strangers in the house. Oh. If you'd like, I can share more stories. None of us live there anymore, but
Yes.
the spooky memories remain. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Yes, we want
That
all
was-
of your
That was so-
stories.
That is so
They're
scary.
so
That
good
is so
and scary.
And we believe you.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
You're not
Oh, yeah.
crazy,
No,
but I don't know what that was.
I don't know what
know
it was
either.
either.
Because it was a solid thing. You
Mhm.
held it. You
Ugh.
fed it. It could eat and drink.
Mhm. And I've heard other mimic stories where the mimic
Yeah.
interacted with the
Mhm.
world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Burbs has a really cool mimic story.
Ooh, I'll need to listen to it.
I meant
Find
that
that
podcast
episode.
every time. I know, but I am obsessed with it.
We love podcasts
Yes.
on
Yes.
this podcast.
Oh, yeah, we do.
What fills up most of my time.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
I like watching podcasts on YouTube too. I like to see that.
It's fun to see them.
I
Yeah.
cannot clean my house without a podcast either going on in the background on YouTube or just on Spotify or
Mhm.
something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to just listen to ladies and tangents. I have to see them.
Yes.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Now,
Yeah.
Shandi's mimic story,
Okay.
her own personal one.
Yeah. Yup. So this began happening to me when I lived in a house in Mount Pleasant, Utah, which is a teensy little town. It's bigger now than it was then.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, Tyler was born. Chase wasn't born yet when we moved into that house.
Okay.
And things started happening, probably kindergarten age.
Okay, so you were just little.
I was just little. And it just started out pretty innocently. I would hear my mom. Well, I have it all written down. I'll just read it. Okay.
Okay.
So there was a mimic in my house. This mimic creepily sounded like my mother. But when my younger self would go to see what she wanted, she acted confused and said she didn't call for me. Could this be gaslighting? Sure. My mom could have found some sort of twisted pleasure in calling for me and then acting innocent and telling me she never called my name. However, I don't think that she was that mean or had the time or ambition to do something like this. It would have been super out of character for her back then, and probably now. Yeah. Another supporting fact for it being a mimic and not gaslighting. See, I'm still gaslighting myself when I'm telling this story.
Gaslighting. Take those kneecaps phrases out of there.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're
I'm
okay.
reading through all of me gaslighting myself into not believing that anything scary was happening.
Girl boss, gaslight, gatekeep.
Okay. Another supporting fact for it being a mimic and not gaslighting is that this would happen when my mother wasn't home. Those were especially odd as there was no way to explain why someone who was out of the house was calling my name. Thinking back, when this would happen, it would sometimes be scary and other times just confusing. Mimic or not, I did feel invalidated because no one else was hearing it.
Ooh.
Poor Shandi.
It wasn't until years later that my mom stated she heard a woman calling her name at times in that house. She was the only grown woman. There wouldn't have been anyone that could have sounded like a grown woman.
Ooh.
I was a small child. Our dad does not sound anything
No.
like that at all. And Tyler was little, and Chase was born when we lived in that house, and he was a baby. He couldn't sound like
He's opens his mouth.
So I guess that was some validation for me, but it wasn't something we discussed often or at length because as my mother still didn't want to discuss the paranormal. A few years ago, I got some more confirmation that I wasn't imagining things or hallucinating. Oh, I don't want to read this one yet. Okay. So cut to being older in 4th and 5th grade and living in Springville. At this time, my mom and dad are divorced. Both are remarried. And Carson has been born and probably Rustin.
Okay.
You guys aren't in the picture yet.
Nope.
Sorry, but you get into the picture during all of this.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's when I moved down here. Anyway, okay. So the house we moved into in Springville, we were the second family, I believe, that moved into it. The people that lived there before us built the home.
Okay.
So the home was an unassuming, boring red brick rectangle with creamy beige siding on the attached garage. When you entered through the front door, there was a short hallway with a closet to the left. The hallway opened up into a wider area that served as a central point to get to the living room to the left, the master bedroom to the right, a bathroom in between the master and the other upstairs bedroom. And finally, toward the back, there was an open concept dining room / kitchen. The kitchen door had a door to the garage. This is important to remember. There were stairs leading to the basement located in between the living room and the dining room. The basement was finished all except for a bathroom that never got finished and served as storage. There was a big family room, a huge windowless laundry room, and 2 bedrooms located on opposite sides of the basement from another. When we first moved in, it felt warm and inviting. No one had any problems at first. A few months into living there, the mimic was back at its game. So I think this entity followed us, and I think specifically it's attached to, or was attached to Julie.
Okay.
Okay.
So at this time, my mother was working as a licensed practical nurse and finishing up nursing school to earn her associate's degree and become a registered nurse. With all of this going on, she was not home very much. My brothers were at daycare and my stepfather was at his bank job and didn't usually return home until around 6, leaving me home alone after school for a few hours. This was wonderful because I could watch the forbidden TV shows, eat snacks without repercussion, and just live my best preteen life. The mimic began slowly, calling my name using my mother's voice. From the family room downstairs, you can hear everything that is going on in the kitchen and dining room. It's like that stairway served as a funnel for the noise, and you could just hear everything.
Oh, yikes.
The voice always sounded so real. However, there would never be the telltale signs of the garage door opening and my mother's footsteps overhead signaling she was home. At first, this detail didn't register in my little brain. I would bound up the stairs, excited for Mom to be home, and then confused as I was still all alone, leaving me not wanting to go back downstairs or to be inside at all. Hanging out in the backyard and the playground at school or spending time at a friend's house became my solace. Hearing a voice of a person who was in another town at work in an empty house is very terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get super scared.
Understandable.
Yeah. Okie doke. So it started ramping up because I wasn't being as frightened anymore. And also this was around the time I was starting to get really into horror and spookiness and goosebumps, scary stories to tell in the dark, Christopher Pike, Are You Afraid of the Dark, all of that. So by 5th grade, my spooky side was in full gear and the mimic didn't frighten me anymore. Not being able to get a rise from me, it upped its game.
Ooh.
Now there would be the sound of the garage door opening, car door shutting, kitchen door opening and closing, and the sound of specifically my mother's footsteps. Like all of us, you all sound different. So we could, like sitting in that basement living room, you would know who was coming home.
Oh, yeah.
So opening up the kitchen door that led to the garage would reveal. So I would go upstairs, right, and see that I'm alone. Opening up the door in the kitchen that led to the garage would reveal the garage was empty. The big garage door closed, and the light on the garage door opener would be off. Had the door just opened, that light would still be on as it stayed on for around 5 minutes after the garage door opened. Like the big mechanical that lets cars in.
Okay.
So, yeah. The light was proof that the door had not been opened at all. Like the big garage door.
That are loud.
Yeah.
So loud. Like,
Yeah.
very
But you would
distinct.
hear that sound.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You hear it start up.
It's
It's
like-
like the garage door open, like that. Grr, grr, grr.
Yeah, like the mechanical
Yeah,
whirring
yeah.
and the clinking of the
Yeah.
metal sliding.
Then you would hear the car door open, shut, garage like door into the house from the garage open, shut, footsteps across the kitchen.
Hate it. And then it
Yeah.
wouldn't be
So
there.
I would be like, oh, yay, and run upstairs, and I would be alone.
Yay. Or were you? Were you?
Oh, I was
You were
not
not
alone.
alone.
No.
There was just no other
Mm.
living humans there.
Yay.
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 Another odd thing that validated my experience was my brothers would hear this while spending time together in the home without our parents there.
Chase will deny this today. I'm just kidding.
He believes that
Yeah.
we believe it happened.
Yeah.
I believe that you believe.
Love you, Chase.
Let's Chasey.
So, and I hate, okay, sorry, Tyler and Chase, but you did tell me that you've heard this. I don't know if you were just trying to fit in, if it really wasn't true. I don't know, but you told me that you heard it too. My brothers also had times where they heard the mimic calling to them using my mother's voice. Stepfather never said anything about this happening to him. Even if it did, he would never have acknowledged it. At this point in time, the mimic was still pretty tame and nothing escalated to anything truly frightening. That would happen when I moved back in at age 15. After 5th grade, I moved to a little rural town with my dad and new stepmom. Mom Amanda, your guys' mommy.
Oh.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I'm not going to name this town because I live there now. In my grandparents' old home.
Woo.
Oh. Oak doke. Do. And then shit happens. That's not the mimic. But then I moved back into the Springville house. And I'm going to skip a lot of stuff because I spent teenage years there. And we're going to skip ahead to when I was in my early 20s. 2008 recession was in full swing, and me and my first son and my then husband, now ex-husband, moved in with my mom for a while. So one day, oh, I hated this. So sorry, Zan, I'm using your name.
Hi, Zan.
Zan. He doesn't listen to this. Xander had to stay in the room that I used to have in the basement in the Springville house.
Okay.
That room fucking sucked. Anyway, but like I didn't have a choice. The tattoo shop had went under. My ex was just kind of working at Maverick. We had no money. It was real shitty. So Xander stayed in that bedroom. Like we had a brand new baby monitor because our bedroom was on the other side of the basement and we wouldn't be able to hear him as easily.
Ooh.
Okay.
That fucker never worked.
Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
Outside
Ooh.
of that room, like if we took it upstairs, outside of the room, if both of the monitor and the receiver were outside of that room, it was fine.
Hate
It was
that.
the room.
It was the room. It would turn its whatever was the mimic would turn off the monitor. It would turn the knob.
Don't like
It was
that.
like not a push. It was like a knob.
You had to like spin it and like
Yeah.
click it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yes. So one day, me and my ex-husband put Zan down for bed, and we're just out in the living room, the same living room where I would hear all the footsteps, garage door, all that shenanigans.
Okay.
So this is that same house. We're in the living room, and all of a sudden, Xander is screaming bloody murder. And my heart and my stomach drop out my butt, and I ran as fast as I have ever ran in my life.
Those mama instincts kicked in.
And like obviously my ex-husband was right behind me.
Yeah.
Just sit on the couch.
He's all, good luck, babe.
Yeah. And we get in there and Xander is in tears and he hadn't been down for very long. I was like, what is going on? And he's like, mean Grandma Julie came in here and leaned over my crib and her face was mean and angry.
Ooh.
And Xander at this time was only 2, but he was a kid who could speak in sentences by his first birthday.
He was precocious.
Yes, little sweetie. So I grab him. We go, into our bedroom. And I don't know why my ex-husband thought like I could do something about this. But I did my best. So I did my best. I told it had to leave us alone. It's not allowed to hurt us. Blah, blah, blah. That basement sucked. It sucked so hard. Whatever was in that basement would mimic, like it would actually physically appear looking like my mom. But
don't
very
like
angry.
those.
Yeah.
No, it sucked. So the thing, I could feel it, and it avoided me. And after that, Xander seeing Mean Grandma Julie and being completely freaked out, and me telling it in no uncertain terms it's to leave me and Xander alone. Sorry, Paul. It would vacate wherever I was, and it didn't bug Xander again.
Okay.
But my ex-husband would see it a few more times.
Mm-mm.
And it was when my mom was not home. And he would be like going in to do something and look down the hallway and the mimic would be standing there
No.
going into the laundry room. And the laundry room, my mom used to spend a lot of time in. She had some struggles and was using substances in a not fun or healthy or exciting social way. And so I think that thing just latched onto her and just sucked her from all the negative energy she had. And it got pretty powerful. And so like full body appearing.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
lot.
scary. Yeah.
That is my scariest mimic story. And I hate talking about it because then like weird stuff happens at my house. But we're not at my house talking about it.
Yay.
We're at Kaka's house talking about
Yay.
it. So that, I've got a ton more, but we'll just stop there for today.
That's so spooky.
That is so scary.
It sucked. We didn't last long living back with my mom for many reasons, but a lot of
But
it
also-
was
That was one of them.
Yeah, that entity. So I used to do slumber parties, selling the sex toys. And I had a slumber party at my mom's house, and my old boss from the tattoo shop came. And the second she walked in, she's like, "Oh God, what is in the basement?"
Ugh.
Yeah, because she saw stuff all the time. Anyway,
Ugh, that's scary. that like confirmation is
I
always
know.
fun.
like from someone external that hasn't been dealing with it.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
never been there.
and they're like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
is
they're like, that is gross. What is that?
Ugh.
I'm like, I know, it is bad.
Yikes.
And she actually gave me some ideas that were helpful about a bag of salt water over the doorways.
Ooh.
Okay.
And it seemed to like if I were in, like I said, if I were in the room, it would vacate.
okay.
I would feel it like out.
It knew you
Mm.
meant business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It knew I wasn't going to let it fuck around with me or Zanzan.
Okay.
Oh, that's scary.
Mimics are a little spooky.
Mhm.
So I don't think it was demonic.
Mm-mm.
I think it was some sort of other entity that feeds on negative energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like mimics are probably just some non-human entity that have their
They've
own
never
agenda.
been human.
Yeah.
Yeah. That need their own food source. We're their
Mhm.
food source.
Yep.
Yay. Because everything feeds on everything on this
Uh-huh.
planet.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Uh-huh. The
Yeah.
circle of
Life
life.
or
And death.
death.
The food chain.
The food chain.
The paranormal food chain.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I
Arm.
never. Okay.
Not this time.
Okay. But the whistling. I never told my story the last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about that one on one that's not going to come out yet, though.
Oh, okay. We'll
So
talk
that's
about
what
it later.
yeah.
LOL.
Okay.
Next time.
Dead.
Thanks.
Next time.
All right.
But we do have.
Oh
we do
gosh.
have a
Yesterday.
story.
I'm ready
And
for this
Craig,
story.
Craig actually has a mimic story,
I do have
Craig
a
has
mimic
a mimic
story. I have a lot of mimic stories actually,
but the one from
but the one that just
yesterday.
literally happened.
Ooh.
before
Yeah.
we move on from
Ooh.
mimics. Yes.
I haven't heard this. Okay.
It's
Go.
okay. So I was just like finishing up my research in my room that is like since moving in there like 3 weeks ago, there is something in there. I've seen like shadows and anyway, I digress. But I was just finishing up research and I heard my name being called and my roommates were not home and it almost sounded mechanical. So I like leaned into my computer. I was like, do I have like audio playing or something? So I like checked all my apps, like Spotify wasn't open, like there wasn't anything playing, but like I just heard my name like being called. And it just, I was like, of course, when I'm researching mimics, I'm going
See,
to
weird
like
shit
have an
happens.
experience. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure those apartment complexes are just haunted in general. All that energy.
of all those young college
Yeah.
students.
Yeah. It's,
They've seen some shit.
Yeah. Yes, they have.
but I was just like, fuck, of course. So hopefully it goes away. I have that sage spray. I'm
I
gonna
was like, cleanse,
sage it
cleanse,
and cleanse
cleanse.
it.
Do some sound cleansing.
clap,
Clap, clap.
clap.
Tell it to fuck off.
Literally. But no, because I don't want that smoke. Like, please.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But that was just
Correct.
one.
Yeah.
of
Full body
many.
chills.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I hate
sorry.
it.
It's always super sucks when you're like researching the thing and then
And then
happens.
it
That
fucking
happens.
happens. Like,
And you're like, oh,
don't do that.
stop it.
Literally.
Listen, Linda.
Yeah,
I
Linda.
want to talk about you, but I didn't invite you.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that
Yep.
was just scared me real good.
I bet.
I
And you're
bet.
just there alone.
Literally, I was like, fuck.
You could have texted us, guys, SOS, mimic.
Literally, I should have a mimic. But yeah, it was scary.
Ew.
Yee.
I'm glad you're safe now.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well,
Oh,
we were
I'm
talking.
ready.
We were talking about how we love visual podcasts so we can watch them on YouTube,
mhm.
and we are working towards making that happen.
yes.
So, our story begins in Shandy's basement.
Oh no. So this room that we were in, we were clearing it out. I sell vintage toys on the internet. And so this room was a shit show because this is where I keep all my stuff, all the toys that still need to be cleaned and photographed and like put into packaging so it doesn't get dusty and gross while it's waiting for its new home.
Yes.
So we were cleaning it up because part of it is going to be our recording space.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always something in that room.
Yes, and it's
No
got
one
a
likes.
feeling.
Oh yeah. Oh, just my stomach just dropped.
Yeah.
No one likes to be in there.
Yeah, I know that.
When I'm packaging something that I've sold, I run down, I grab it, I grab the packaging stuff, I grab the scale, and I run back upstairs.
Yep.
And stuff usually doesn't scare me. And I tell it, I'm like, this is my house. I am not scared of you. And like on the inside, I'm like, I'm a liar.
Little scared of you.
Just a little bit.
My youngest son, like we first tried to make that room into a playroom and the kids would never play in it
Mm-hmm.
unless there was like a ton of them. But if it was just my two older boys, they wouldn't play in it. And then it wasn't even a playroom anymore by the time I had Luke
Yeah.
because everyone hated it.
And you tried to make it a movie room, and
And
nobody
no-
wanted to watch a movie. And
No, and we had a projector and surround sound, and
Mhm.
you couldn't get anyone to sit in there long enough to finish a movie. Like
Mhm.
people would just be like, "I think I'm done. We're done. Let's go upstairs. It's too cold in there."
they're like, yeah, it is cold, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's freezing. Well, it doesn't have any heat routed to it. So in the winter time, it is really cold. Like we have to put a space heater in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just use that as an excuse
It's
to leave the creepy. It has a very off-putting, get the fuck out of here feel.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the entity always hovers in the back left corner of the
Uh-huh.
room,
The southwest corner.
which is what we're setting up our filming space in.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
So, okay, Kai.
So we walk into this room and immediately there's a feeling, and I think it knew what we were there to do.
Ooh.
We were going to mess with its space. We were going to move all of the packaging boxes out of its corner. We were going to
declutter.
We were going to declutter.
We were gonna sweep.
So we get in there and everything's okay for a second, and the light like it starts to blink. Like at first it's just like blinking a little bit. It's
Just so you're kind of like, did that just happen?
yeah. And like so it would be like a minute and then it would blink, and then it'd be another minute and then it would blink, blink, blink. And then
Ew.
we were like, okay, like we
3 times? Like that? Like do.
It did do it 3 times a couple of times.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then we're like, okay, we see you. We know you're here. And so it acted
Went
off.
off.
It went
Oh.
off. It started flash, like it was like a raven there. I'm not even
It was.
kidding.
Uh,
It was like baby's first.
Baby's first rave. Anyway,
And all this time, like we're cleaning.
we're cleaning. Yeah, the
We're
whole time we're
moving
cleaning. We're
stuff.
moving
Mm.
We're
stuff.
throwing away all of the
We
trays.
filled garbage bags. We got that space clean, and that whatever was down there was not.
It was not
oh
happening.
God.
So the lights start to change colors.
Oh.
This is a smart light. It is a smart light.
But like,
It's not connected to.
It's
anything.
not
No.
connected to anything. And Shandi,
Like our Google upstairs was unplugged, but it was never connected to that because this was. We put that light in for Luke because he was
Uh-huh.
trying to make that into a bedroom, but the entity
right?
kept messing
No.
with him
Yeah.
and kept like throwing shit off his stuff. It was just
Ugh.
Anyway.
Hate it.
so that light was his
Mhm.
and was connected to his
Alexa or Google
old
or
phone
something.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Shandi said that she had been in there multiple times.
It had never-
and
And
it
it
had
didn't, like-
never done it like that.
Swear on Hecate,
Uh-huh.
never ever ever.
Yeah.
It's
No.
never. I didn't know it could change colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I
Ooh.
had no idea.
Mhm.
Forgot there was like even like a smart light or something.
Yeah, yeah.
uh-huh. Like it was just like
I took it. I unscrewed it, and we looked at it.
Well, and as she turned the light off,
Mhm.
but the light was still like she turned it off on the wall, like she flipped the switch, and it was still blinking
Mm.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that.
And it was going off on all sorts of colors and just like a rave.
Yeah, like a rave. And then we kind of told it like, "Hey, cut
Like-
it out.
Like,
like stop
we're
it."
not leaving. We're not
Yeah.
little boys. You can't
Yeah.
scare us out of
Mm.
here.
And so it was like, "Oh, okay." And then the blinking slowed down again a little
Mm.
bit. It wasn't a
And-
rave anymore.
And then the light turned to like a really bright. It went just really
It
bright.
went
And stayed that way.
and it stayed that way.
Ooh.
And it's never that bright in there. Never.
That's weird.
And after that, it only blinked again when we had once again acknowledged that it had been blinking. It
Mhm.
blinked once.
Mm.
Yeah, because we had by that time we had finished cleaning. We put down the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
that I had in there that used to be in my office, but now are going to be in our podcast.
Yes.
And so we're sitting there, and I'd gotten my spirit box, and I'd gotten the one I bought on Etsy, and then the other one that you use for the Estes method.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't really interacting with the one that we have that like flips through the radio station.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was interacting with the ghost box,
Mhm.
the ghost
Okay.
chat.
Mhm.
Which is interesting because upstairs in Shandy's house, it's
That's where
more
we did that.
interactive with the Estes.
That's
method.
because it's the lady and
Mhm.
other things. It's not the entity.
Yeah, they don't want to go
Yeah.
into the basement.
The entity
I'm
from the
sure.
basement stays in the basement in that room.
Mhm.
I don't think it leaves a lot,
Mm.
but it called itself the Gates.
Yeah.
Oh.
We asked, what do you want us to call you? And it said the gate.
And
Like,
then we
as
kind
in-
of started joking around and being like, can we just call you Gates? Gates?
And it was like the spirit box said offensive.
oh,
Yeah.
My God.
and we were like, oh, sorry.
Like, you're gonna get fought by the
Yeah.
spirit.
We were digging a little too close to the sun with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So then we asked if it was ever human, and we just got a feeling of like, no,
Mhm.
never.
I
been human.
Yeah. Like it was
don't
like
love it when they answer like that.
yeah. Whew.
And then we were just telling you, like, we're gonna do our podcast down here. We're gonna be
Mhm.
recording. Like, if you don't like this, you might want to leave.
And it told us that
Oh.
we need to go.
And we
Like
said,
on the.
On the box, on
Yeah.
the spirit box.
it said, leave now.
Yeah.
And
we said no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it told us it was going to go to the country park.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Which that was kind of random, but everything else was kind of like,
Ooh,
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it was just like sitting there, like just like not, like just sitting.
Well, and then the park is haunted.
The
too.
park
so
is
we're like, yep,
haunted.
you'll have lots of friends there.
I guess it
Mhm.
was a little relevant though, actually, because
Yeah.
we were like,
Oh.
It
you're
was,
not
that's sort of-
actually trapped here. Like you can go anywhere you want. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Like, you don't have to be here in this
Yeah, in
corner.
this basement corner.
And then after that, the mood
It kind
changed.
of, the mood did
feeling
change.
changed.
Ooh,
Almost like it realized like, oh, maybe I can go to a country park.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then we just kind of asked more questions. And then I feel like the lady from upstairs was down talking to us too.
Ooh.
Once that entity had left.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the vibes in the room totally
Mhm.
changed. And we were asking questions about her. And I kind of reminded Kylie about her story,
Mhm.
how she loved that house so much. And her husband divorced, and she had to move out, and she was devastated.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And she said betrayal.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the house next door to mine was built by the same man for his second wife. Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
always such like a
Yeah, kicking
Damn.
the face. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's our.
So we were talking to
story.
her. Oh, and the
Oh.
smell of the soap.
Oh.
Oh, yes, there was.
So as we're cleaning, this was at the first part of our experience. We're cleaning, and I'm taking Luke's stuff that he had left in that room into his other room in the basement that he won't sleep in either.
Mhm.
Luke has 2 bedrooms
Silly Lukey.
because he won't sleep in the basement.
I
So
don't.
he sleeps upstairs. Anyway,
Mhm.
Yeah.
there was a smell of this like old,
Like it was almost like the Irish spring soap
but like
smell,
more
but more
floral
yeah,
and delicate.
yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I swear Grandma Draper used to have like little rosebud soaps that smell just like this. It's like old fashioned-y.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Kylie, I
Yeah.
was like, you've
Ooh.
smelled
Yeah.
that, right? You
Yeah.
remember those, right?
That's wild.
Right.
And the smell was in the hallway and in the room. And my basement doesn't smell good.
Mm.
It does not smell good. It does not have that nice smell.
It smelled really good. Honestly,
It was really nice.
I've never had an olfactory experience.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that was a first for me, which was exciting.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
and it was super pleasant and positive, and it
Mhm.
felt nice.
Yeah.
So I think the lady from upstairs had come down to be with us while we were
Yeah. Yeah.
chilling with the other
Okay.
entity.
Yeah. She's all, hey guys.
She's super nice
That's
to have
nice
around.
of her, yeah, to
Yeah.
like kind of
She
input
always
her energy.
Keeps
Mhm.
Chantel company when
Yeah.
Chantel's out sitting.
Yes.
Oh, your house is just so
It's
fucking
so
haunted.
haunted.
She's not trapped. She knows she can
Mm-mm.
leave. She's
Yeah.
choosing to be there. So it's
Yeah,
not
'cause
like
she
you're
loves
trying to keep her there.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a sicko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and when the energy changed, so the first time we were like in and out, like taking garbage and stuff out. The first time Shandi left the room, I was like, I'm coming with you. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
But then the second time she left, after the energy had switched, I was like, I'm okay sitting here now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were both in and out. Like I said, like
Mhm.
before, I would go and do what I had to do there and get my
Mhm.
ass out of there. And like it takes a lot to scare me at this point.
yeah.
Mhm.
But the
Oh, yeah.
unsettling feeling of like, just get the fuck out of here. This isn't, you can't be here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it feels better.
Good.
And so I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
Future us, we'll see what
We'll
happens when we try to
see.
record in my haunted house.
Yes. You guys will have to tell us if you see anything
Or
behind
hear
us.
anything.
Or hear any.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes. So that is coming. That is something to look forward to. But until then, we have other ways you can watch us on the Clock app, TikTok,
TikTok.
at Seance with My Siblings.
And we have an Instagram at Seance with My Siblings.
And we have a Gmail, seance with my siblings at gmail.com.
Where you can send us your mimic stories
And all of your stuff.
and
Any
all of your
ghost
stories.
stories.
And your pet pictures.
Yes.
And your ghost pictures.
And
Mhm.
all of the above.
yes.
Please.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Don't forget to rate and review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Thank you.
iTunes. Thank you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.